Live.
Hello.
How is everyone today or tonight or whatever your time zone is? I'll give you all a second to join. And yeah, I'm really excited. Really excited for you to be here, Gabby.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being my co-host.
Oh, of course. Thank you for asking me.
Yeah, it was so fun to be on your channel the other day too. It was like back-to-back live shows, back-to-back reading, which is so fun. I just realized something. I have to change something on YouTube really quick. But yeah, I'll give people a second to join and kind of get situated. I want to make sure that it's working. I always have to make sure that it's working before I continue on.
No, you're totally
okay. Good. I see it's live. It's live. Okay, perfect. So I would love you to kind of introduce yourself. I'm assuming everyone knows you because you're like a BookTube OG queen, but you know, why don't you go ahead and kind of share a little info for those who
so my name is Gabby. My channel is called Gabby Reads, and over there I just make videos. I make a lot of reading vlogs of reading a lot of different thrillers, horrors, and romances are my go-to genres. But this year I'm trying to branch out and do a little bit more maybe sci-fi or some different stuff. But yeah, those are my comfort genres for sure. Thrillers, horrors, and romance. And I make bookish videos, and sometimes I make videos that are related to movies or TV shows. I do wrap-ups of stuff that I've been watching lately, but yeah, that's my channel.
I love that. I love that you do the movie ones too. I want to start doing that, but I haven't started quite yet, but that's awesome.
Also, it's fun to incorporate things that you love into it, why not?
Yeah. And I also really love how I've noticed is that people who love thriller and horror usually love romance too.
Yeah.
It's it goes together. It's so funny. And I was talking to my friend the other day and I was like, I may eventually like romance.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like a pull, like a tiny pull. So we'll see.
Have you read any at all, or have you not even tried?
I'm trying to think. Literally, I think I read A Walk to Remember when I was
oh, okay.
So yeah, I feel like I've changed. Yeah. The last song I remember reading after I saw the movie, and I was like, it's Miley. I was so excited. I'm going to start pulling up some comments really quick. So excited. Just finished. Yeah. Let me know. So we're first going to talk non-spoilers for a while. So if you're here and you're chilling and you don't want to be spoiled, don't worry. I'm going to warn you all. But sorry, I should have gotten a drink. I'm on a talk show. But yeah, so let me know if you all have read the book in the comments, and I'd love to know, I don't know, what emoji should people do? A red heart, because it's red.
Yes.
Hi, I'm excited to discuss. Oh, thank you. Hello. Good evening, everyone. Hi. I like trying to pull up, maybe I won't say all the comments, but I'll pull them up. So you don't hear my repetitive.
Right now.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. This is so exciting how many people are here. Thank you all for coming. This is awesome. I was telling Gabby, I feel like this book is getting a ton of hype everywhere. Everybody's talking about it, which makes me happy because I personally really enjoyed it. So we'll get into that though. I'm going to pull up all yes, Gabby, the comment. Loving your shirt, Gabby. Yes.
Oh, thanks.
It's so funny. I have that shirt too. It's a great shirt.
We could have twinned if we planned this in advance.
I know. I'm wearing my, let me stand up. I'm wearing my Death Before decaf. I'm reading it backwards. Yeah, it's cute. It's a good sentiment. I do drink decaf sometimes though. Gabby, it says, hi, Gabby. Aww. Those glasses are cute. Thank you. Hey, remember to like the video. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm excited for Gabby and Savannah book club discussion round 2. Yes, we're going strong. Red light in the background. Yes. Thank you for noticing.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
Yeah. I love setting my light to match the mood, and I felt like that awesome. Matched. Yes. Halloween all the time. The snowstorm from 2 days ago delayed most of my books. Oh no. I'm sorry.
Dang.
Okay, I may not be able to pull up all the comments because there's so many. Oh my gosh. But I'm seeing tons of people excited, which is awesome. Thank you so much. I made it, haven't read it. That's okay. Didn't finish in time. That's okay. Yeah, I'm seeing so many red hearts. I'm not used to getting this many comments. I love it.
I know
I usually can like pull up every single one. My boyfriend and I buddy read it. That's awesome. Oh my gosh.
What's up, Mom?
Wait, is your mom here?
Yeah, she's Kim. Yeah.
Hi.
I got her to read this one too, so she read it.
Oh, I love that. What a queen. No. Okay. So I'm gonna pull up my non-spoilers tab. So first of all, I don't know how you felt about this book, but I guess we should probably give a synopsis for anybody who's here who doesn't know what it's about. Yes. Do you want to give a synopsis?
Oh,
sure. I gave a synopsis on your channel. We'll just do like a switcheroo.
Yeah, for sure. So the maid, we're following this main character named Molly, who's a maid at this hotel, and her gran has passed away recently, so she's kind of like grieving in her own way. You know, she's just kind of like throwing herself back into work, and on one of her shifts she walks into this hotel room and she sees this dead body and she realizes that, well, I mean, so she doesn't, I mean, she's not like immediately like, you know, concerned, I think, too much, but then it slowly becomes this thing where she realizes that she was kind of close with the wife of the guy that she found dead, and so she kind of gets involved in that way with what's going on. And yeah, that's kind of the basic premise without
that's a really good that's a good description. I think that's kind of all you need to know going into this book. I was going to say, and we can talk about this more in spoilers, but this is a very character-driven book. It's very non-plot driven. It's almost to the point for me personally where I was like, I don't really care about the plot. Like, I don't really care who did it. Like, I'm curious, obviously, but I just loved listening to Molly and like being in her mind and hearing her inner dialogue. I loved it. Oh my gosh. Okay. So what did you end up rating it? And everybody in the comments, this would be a great time to drop your rating too. And we'll kind of see like maybe what's the consensus.
I know, I'm excited, but I think so I ended up giving it between like a 3.5 and a 4. That's kind of where I'm sitting. I was more leaning towards a 3.5 until the ending. Like the very ending convinced me, because I was kind of shocked by some of the stuff that happened at the very end of this book. So I bumped it up to a 4. But there were just a few things about this book that made me knock it down a little bit, which I can get into more in the spoilery section, because some of it is spoilers. But I do feel like for me personally, like one of the issues that I had with it was the fact that the ending felt like it ended like, or like I felt like the book was coming to an end, and then everything felt like it was resolved, and then there was still like another 50 pages or something, and I was like, what? Like it felt like the story had ended or gotten resolved, and so that was kind of like a weird thing for me, and some of the ending felt a little bit unnecessary, or just like, I don't know. And then also like Molly, with how naive she was about certain things, I was like, what? Like it was just kind of like, oh my gosh, like. But otherwise, like I really enjoyed it. I think it's like a fun, cute, you know, light mystery book, and How did you feel about it?
I totally agree with some of your critiques. Like for sure, I feel them 100%. I gave it a 4-star. I was really like hoping I would give it a 5-star. And I almost gave it a 4.5 star. But when I like reflected upon my overall experience, I was like, here's the thing that I noticed. There was a lot of like tonal shifting throughout. It's almost like there was a couple novels within this book where it was like, one was the lighthearted, and then the other one was like this like more very serious tone. And then there was like that murder mystery kind of thing. So it didn't bother me like seeing many different elements in this book, but there were some times where I was like, oh my gosh, like that's pretty dark, I guess, or like pretty serious. I wasn't expecting it.
The tone was like kind of like different in some parts.
Exactly. And so I think that was the reason why I bumped it down to a 4, and also just purely because I wasn't like shocked at the end. I didn't see it coming for sure. Like I was actually really surprised, and I thought it was really clever. I like what they did with that. Or the author did with that. But so that's why it was like a solid 4. But did you read this in a fast period of time? Like, did you binge read it?
I read it all in 24 hours.
Okay. Yeah, me too. And did you listen to it, or did you?
I listened to it and read it, but I was mostly listening to it.
Yeah. What did you think about listening to it in, like, such a short amount of time?
Yeah, I really liked the audiobook. I thought it was really engaging and entertaining. I thought she was, like, a
Yeah.
really great narrator, so
I think I was gonna say, I think that, like, really elevated my experience reading it, like, reading it in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
Because in the book, it takes place, I think, is it within a week or something? It's, like,
Yes,
within a
something.
couple days or
Yeah.
something, and so I just love, like, in books where there's a couple days or, like, a set time period, like, trying to
Yeah.
read it in that time period, I just love it.
Yeah,
So,
same.
yeah, let's see what people so 3.5. We have a 5-star. I love to see
Nice.
that. Oh, it's a bunny. 3, 4.5. I saw some people saying Molly reminds them of
Yes.
Eleanor Oliphant. How do you say
I think it's Oliphant, yeah.
Oliphant? Oliphant, yes.
I was gonna mention that. I don't know if you've read that
Yeah,
book, but
I
he
haven't.
so reminds me of her, like, spot on.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I feel like I would like it then.
Yeah.
I should
It's not
definitely
like a
read it.
thriller at all, it's just, like, a
Yeah.
really, like, beautiful coming of age kind of story like
Aw.
that, but her
Yeah.
character was, like, spot on Eleanor Oliphant, like, I felt the same.
Oh, I love that. 4,
Mhm.
3 or 4, wow, I can't count. Lots of 4s. I would say, like, most people are hovering around a 4
Yeah.
and 5, some and a lot of 3s, I think.
That's awesome, though,
I'm
it seems like most people enjoyed it.
Yeah, like, there's no 1
Mm.
or 2s.
Yeah.
I'm thinking 3. I really like most of it except a couple parts bothered me, and yeah, we can get into that at spoilers. I'm
Mhm.
very curious to hear, like, what your thoughts are and everybody's thoughts are, because there was some dark stuff in here, like,
Yeah.
I guess dark maybe isn't the right word, it was just, like, very heavy. I
Yeah.
was not expecting it.
Mhm.
I was thinking it was a 3-ish in the middle, but going through some stuff at the ending, yeah. Yeah, I agree. I literally groaned reading the ending. It was like a parable. Oh my god. Yes. Oh my gosh, with Molly being taken advantage of. Oh,
Mhm.
I almost cried in certain parts of this novel to see, like, how others can be so horrible and ununderstanding to someone who's different and just processes things different, and
Mhm.
yeah, like, when she was bullied, this isn't really spoilers, this is pretty general, but I think she's neurodivergent. It's never, like, said, but I think it's
Mhm.
implied, and, like, the way that, she talks about how people treat her in the book. They treat her
Yeah.
like she doesn't understand anything, which she's actually super intelligent, and I
Mhm.
don't know. That was, like, hard to read about. Wasn't crazy about the ending. Yeah, do you think it would have been better without the epilogue?
I do, yeah, I feel like the ending was a little bit too long for me.
Yeah, let me turn to what exactly.
'Cause I'm pretty sure it was, like, an epilogue, and then there was something, like, 2 weeks later, and then, like, 2 years
Yeah.
later, like, it was just, like, dragged out a little
Yeah, I
long for me.
agree. Yeah, I agree. The ending bumped the rating down. Oh, okay. Yeah. The ending drags. So I think we have, like, a pretty, a lot of people think that the ending maybe wasn't for them. I think Molly was on the autistic spectrum. Yeah, I agree. I think so too. Molly made it funny. Yeah. Some of the scenes were so funny. I loved it.
Mhm.
Oh, it was so cute. Um, I was really nervous a twist was going to be I guess this isn't a spoiler. I was worried. Yeah, that would be really, like,
That would be kinda weird.
not good.
Yeah.
Like, twist. Yeah, that would be obnoxious. Um, I found it slow in the middle, like, I wanted it to keep moving. The audio was great. I think a lot of people enjoyed the audiobook for sure. I was
Mhm.
also viewing Molly as being on the autism spectrum, even though that wasn't officially stated, so that's why her is it Naya?
Nat Yeah, I don't know how to
I can't
pronounce it.
speak, but
Nativity?
yeah, didn't bother me.
That's
Um, yeah. Okay, I'm trying to skim and just see. I didn't see Molly as naive. Yeah, I actually thought she was, like, super observant.
Yeah.
I think just people took advantage of her, like, trying to explain, like, what was going on, and she believed them because she, like,
Yeah.
mostly seems to really be someone who believes in the greater good and, like, the good in people,
Mhm.
that I think that's, like, how she was manipulated a lot. Um, yes, I taught for 33 years, and the way people took advantage of her just killed me. Yeah, it's awful. I really wish when authors write about autistic people, they would share it in the story. Yeah, actually, I agree with that.
Yeah.
It is odd. I tried to Google if there was like any information of the author specifically stating like she was like on the autism spectrum, or like the author herself was, or had like a connection to it, and she didn't say that. I'm not sure the reason. What are your thoughts on that? Do you wish maybe going in, like what?
I don't know, because I do think it could have provided more clarity maybe for those who like don't usually, or for maybe those who don't really know autistic people or know those kind of like personality traits or things like that. So like I do think it benefits the reader to know that about a character, but I don't know, I don't necessarily think it's something that has to be stated. But like
maybe, yeah, maybe if it was stated, it would almost seem like that's the only reason like the author wrote the book, like just to write a character about someone with autism, instead of like the character just being like this person who has these qualities, you know? I think that, yeah, the epilogue was, but I feel like it could have been, maybe it was like more the ending, like before the epilogue.
There's a little section before the epilogue that's like several months later, and then it's just like this random shit for like 20 pages or something, and then it's the epilogue. Like I liked the epilogue, but the part before that, I was like, is this necessary?
Yeah, I agree. Especially in thrillers, this always happens. Telling us that she's autistic from the very start isn't a bad thing. Yeah. Lots of different varying opinions on that. Hello, just joining. Hi. It was about 2 to 3 stars for me. Well, I'm glad you read it. Yes, Molly made my heart smile. I know. Me too. I loved Molly. And it's funny because I read thrillers, so usually I'm not very like attached to the characters. So when I can read like a mystery or a thriller that I'm like, oh, I love that character, or like a horror novel or something where I'm like, that is an amazing character, it makes me very happy. Do you have other characters from other like thriller or horror novels that you really love?
Oh gosh. Well, I mean,
Finlay?
I was gonna say Finlay Donovan is like one of my favorites for sure. I mean, this book kind of did give me like the cozy mystery vibes of Finlay Donovan.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was like quite as fun for me as Finlay Donovan was, because like the shenanigans that Finlay Donovan gets into is like different from this, you know, but they're both like similar vibes.
Yeah. Sure. I was wondering if it kind of was similar. Molly wanted to see the good in people. Yeah. Yeah. It kind of was, honestly. Because then people will be more, I think the end of the comment was cut off, maybe. I think Molly should have her own show. Yes. Okay, so do you want to say anything else non-spoilery before we kind of go into the spoilers? Is there anything?
Not that I can think of specifically, no.
So if you're wondering, like if somebody's here and they haven't read it, if you're wondering if you'd like it and you're a thriller person, I think you should still give it a go, because it reads like a mystery. It really does. It's not like the stakes are very high. But I think you may be pleasantly surprised how much you like that. I had never what am I saying? I've never written a mystery either, but I've never read a mystery before, like a cozy mystery. And now I'm like really excited about them. I don't know.
Cute.
Yeah. Are you okay with going into the spoilers then?
Yeah. Okay. I am down.
So if anybody's here who doesn't want to be spoiled, now is your time to peace out. But thank you for watching.
Yes.
Okay, so spoilery thoughts. What was your reaction to her relationship with her grandmother? Just reading about all of that. It's so sad.
It was sad. And I think one of the most surprising moments in the book for me was when we found out what actually happened when she died. How she was like, how she like smothered her or something, right? So that she could die like the way that she wanted to or something. Like, I thought that was so like, what the heck?
Yeah, it was really moving. And it was also just, that scene was like, That's kind of what I meant. Like, it's a very serious issue and a very, like, debated topic. And just, like, the fact that that scene was in here was, like, really intense to read. And it almost surprised me, like, how much. But I also thought it really, like, the fact that she had done that with her grandmother, and then the fact that she saw someone with a pillow in the mirror. Now she had that reaction. I thought that was really clever and made a lot of sense. And I was like, oh, okay, that, like, really came together. And I liked that twist, if that's the right word. I guess it's not so much like a twist, it's more like a reveal. I don't know if that makes sense. And also just, like, knowing people who have, you know, had cancer and stuff, and I'm sure a lot of people have dealt with that or know someone. Like, it was just really, I felt like it was portrayed really well and, like, accurately. Just to really care for someone and see them go through that is just really difficult. Let me see what some of the comments say. Yeah, it was so sad. Yeah, it really was. I kept crying over the loss of the grandmother and how much Molly missed her. I know, and how she, like, kept the whole house the same, and how she didn't want to bring anything from, like, outside of the house into the house.
I know.
That was so sad and sweet at the same time. Oh my gosh.
I know. I love how she kept, like, bringing up her grandmother's advice, like, throughout the book, how she would be like, oh, he's a good egg, like, my grandma would like him, or, you know, like, she was always, like, considering, like, what her gran would, like, think of certain things, or, like, you know, it was just sweet, like, the relationship was sweet.
I kind of forgot about that, how she would, like, say the things she said with her grandmother. That was so sweet. How did I forget about that? I loved that aspect of it. That was a surprise. I started to think Molly knew more about the murder than we knew at that point. Did you see that coming at all?
The thing at the very end with, like, what actually happened?
Yeah, like, did you think Molly knew the whole time, or was that a big shock to you?
I know. That was a pretty big shock, yeah. Because it was revealed that it wasn't actually, like, Rodney at all. It was his first wife or whatever, right? Yeah, that was like, huh?
Yeah. And especially when they said, like, Mrs. Black or whatever, I immediately thought of Giselle. And then I was like, oh my gosh, it's not Giselle. It's, like, the first wife. That was a really good reveal.
How did you feel about Giselle's character, like, overall?
That's a really good question. So I felt like Giselle was very, very morally gray. Like, you kind of, it showed her faults a lot, but it also showed, like, her kind heart. I don't know. What are your thoughts on her? I'm really curious to know.
I know. I don't really know whether her intentions were ever, like, good or not. It's kind of hard to tell, like, if she actually, you know, enjoyed Molly, or if she was just kind of taking advantage of her. But, like, honestly, like, she was probably my favorite character besides Molly in this book. Like, I just found her to be really interesting. And, like, I was always, like, unsure, like, what she was up to. And, like, she was just really interesting as a character.
I agree. People in the comments, you all should drop, like, what you thought of Giselle. Do you think she had, like, good intentions or bad intentions? Because, like you said, it's very much like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like by the end of the book, I feel like she probably did, you know, because she did that, like, kind thing for her, right? Where she, like, sent her something at the end. I can't remember exactly what, but, like,
it's like $10,000, I think.
Yeah. I mean, like, that was, like, a kind gesture, I think, at the end, but I don't know if it's also because she, like, felt guilty or, you know, whatever reason.
I would like to think to make myself feel better, that, like, it was good intention, but I think she was a character who was really struggling and going through it, and had an abusive husband, and obviously was trying to cope through drugs, and, you know, was having an affair. But it's almost like it wasn't an affair because he was literally, like, terrible and doing the same thing to her. I don't know. So, yeah, and just, I really did actually, like, I felt like Giselle was her friend. I don't know, like, the way she talked to her and how she would be so, like, caring and be like, oh, you can't say that. Like, I know what you mean, but, like, don't say that to people.
That's what I mean. They kind of had a cute friendship. Like, I liked when she, like, offered to do her makeup, or where she would just be, like, tipping her, like, $100, and then Molly would be like, what the heck? Like, they just had, like, a cute, like, thing going. And I would like to think it was genuine, you know, like.
I agree. And here, I like to think Giselle had good intentions and was in a bad situation.
Yeah.
I think so too. That's kind of, oops, the comments jumped. I agree with this. I tried to click on it. I know what you were dealing with the whole live show now. Like so many comments coming in. Yeah. Where did it go? Somebody said, oh, here. An affair with Rodney. Yuck.
I know, Rodney.
Okay, let's
Rodney
talk
was
about Rodney.
so frustrating.
Yeah. So my heart was breaking every time she was like, he's into me, he's into me, he's into me. And he was like using her. Gross. It made me so mad. And she was like so infatuated with him. And it was so heartbreaking too, because she was like so cute and like pure, and her like she like thought his intentions were like so pure, you know? She was like, it's a date, and like I'm gonna like buy my clothes and like get ready, and Giselle's gonna like help me. And it was just, oh my gosh, like also their whole interaction at the Olive Garden, how she was like saying the thing about, can I have or he said he didn't want breadsticks or whatever, and she was like, that was a little disappointing. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, that's so sad.
So I know.
And then so yeah, what did you think about him? Obviously you disliked him, but
he was like part of the reason why this book was like frustrating for me to read, just because I was like, oh my gosh, and like it was hard for me to not like see through his bullshit. So that's why I feel like I was frustrated that Molly couldn't see through his bullshit, because like those lines that he was feeding her, he's like trying to make him look like he's such a good person for helping Juan, like this homeless man who like needs to stay in a hotel room, and like, oh, can you help go clean it up so that nobody knew he was there, and like help me figure out which rooms are vacant for my friend. I was like, no. Like, what? I was just so frustrated because I was like, I see through that shit so fast, and I wanted Molly to see it too, but I was like,
I know. And the fact that she kept saying to his face, like, you're a good man, and like you're like a kind man. I was like, no, he's not. It was like, we're gonna come and punch him in the face.
Exactly.
I almost was surprised that Giselle, did she know much about it? I don't think she did. She just knew they were going on a date.
Yeah, I don't think she did. Because they were already having an affair by that point, right? So like,
that is so weird though. That just made sense, because Giselle knew she was going on a date with Rodney, but
it was
so because in a way though, that means like she let her be hurt a little bit, because like Molly was all excited about it. Oh, that's sad.
That's what I mean. I know Giselle was like in a tough spot, right? Because she was actually like with Rodney, but she had to like cover it up because she knew what Rodney was actually up to.
Yeah, that is a bummer. Most of the female characters had to go through it. I agree. And then Juan.
Yeah, Juan was sweet.
I loved him. I actually, for some reason, thought he was like older. Did you think so too, or was that just me?
I don't know, to be honest. I wasn't really paying attention to how old he was supposed to be.
Yeah, I liked that little ending with them. I thought it was cute. I know maybe some people would be like, that's kind of out of nowhere, but did you feel like it was kind of out of, was that one of the things you were like, eh?
Yeah, I was like, this is so random. Like, I was like, her and Juan, like, what is happening? Like, I didn't think the romance was like necessary for the end of the book, but I could see why she included it for sure.
I agree with that 100%. I almost just wish that since they ended up together, we had some chemistry like earlier on, like some hints. Because like what you said, I was like, what in the world? Like this is out of nowhere. Like I was like, oh, that's cute. Like she's like moving on and he's treating her right, and he's kind of like keeping her company and stuff. But I was like, wait, this is weird. Oh, they kept trying to paint him as a bad guy. Did you think he was going to be the bad guy?
I didn't think so. I was like, with Rodney being like the character that he is, I was like, there's no way that, like Juan had to be innocent for.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, her ex stealing her ATM code card and all the money made me sick. That's another thing. Oh my gosh, I wanted to say, so in that in the book where she was saying how like sometimes you do things, can't remember exactly what she said, but she's like, sometimes you keep secrets to not hurt someone or something. That was like so touching to me and like heart-wrenching and just, oh my gosh, like that impacted me a lot. I don't know. Did that hit you hard too?
Well, yeah, because that was so sad because like she never told her grandma, right, that money was stolen. So she never knew, right? So like when the grandma was like, "Oh, don't worry, like you're set after I go." And it was just like, oh, it was heartbreaking because like of course she doesn't want to tell her granddad because that would like literally break her heart that like all their money was stolen. Like what a douche. Oh.
And then at like her, well, when she was sick or something, or maybe close to her being on her deathbed, she was saying like, don't worry, like there's still a ton of money. You'll be able to go to school. And then it was like, oh, she like knew and just knew not to tell her. And it was just so heartbreaking. I was curious what you thought about her pawning the ring. What did you think about that?
That was another thing that I was like, why would you do that?
Yeah,
like
drop in the comments.
Literally gonna make you look like a suspect. Like suspect 101, don't take somebody's stuff that just recently died and sell it to a pawn shop. Like that looks like you just, killed them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that was maybe one of the most unrealistic parts of this whole novel was that she did that.
Exactly.
And then like it almost wasn't spoken of again.
Yeah.
And then like no one ever, like I know she was cleared or whatever and like her name was cleared, but like
it seemed like a plot convenience thing where like the author needed her to look like more guilty because if other things didn't add up enough. So the author was like, I need to have something to make her look more guilty. So like it seemed like a plot convenience of like, oh, let's have her pawn the ring or something, like.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. Did you feel like it was out of character a little bit?
I think a little bit. I mean, I don't know. She was kind of like not seeing a lot of the things. So like I don't think it's too out of character to like be unbelievable, but like kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with this. It made it look like it was a suspect move at the time and totally out of character. Yeah, I think it was like in the middle. It was a little out of character, but also at the same time, I felt like her whole thing was like, well, it was like almost like a little bit of the Robin Hood thing, like just with everything sort of, like this is for the greater good or whatever. So I just thought it was more like unrealistic that nobody ever noticed. I don't know.
Yeah.
That didn't fit character. Yeah. I thought it was going to be like more of a thing. I don't know.
I know.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Was that the reason why she did it?
Maybe it was. I kind of almost was like ready to hear like she lived at the hotel now or something. Like,
I know.
I feel like she would have liked that, but maybe not. Oh, I guess lose her grand's place. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because didn't she take the money? She got like $200 or something for it, and then she gave it to the landlord and was like, "Here's $200 for rent." And he's like, "You still owe me like $1,000 or something." I think I remember that.
Yeah, I felt like a lot of random stuff happened in this novel too. That was, I guess, another like, I guess maybe not random, but like it felt a little disconnected at parts where I was kind of like, wait. I was like doing like the mental math. I was like, what's going on at this moment?
Oh my gosh. What did you think of that scene too, where she's like, it's like when one of the first scenes with Rodney and Juan, and she like thinks that they're both like flirting with her or something, but they're both like trying to tell her that they're kind of in a dangerous situation or something. It was like closer to the start of it. But I was like,
oh my God.
I was like, oh my God, because I can't even remember what they were saying to her, but she was just like, oh my God, they're like flirting with me and they're like battling for my attention. And they're both like trying to like warn her that there's like some dangerous shit about to go down or something.
Yeah. Like, oh my God. It was like she witnessed like a drug deal happening.
Yeah.
And she was like, why are there powdered donut remnants and like all this stuff? I was like,
I know, that's why I was like, what the heck?
Yeah. Do you think Rodney cared about her at all or no?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree. I saw a comment that I'm trying to find, but I don't know where it is. Oh, actually, I kind of agree with this as well. Maybe. Kind of wish they had a platonic friendship. Yeah, I felt like the romance was a little bit of a stretch just because it wasn't talked about.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it more, there wasn't much like build up. It was just like, oh, cool. Okay. I'm trying to find a comment. Let me see. It was strange to me that a super fancy hotel was right down the street from the Olive Garden.
Dude, there's Olive Gardens everywhere. Like, literally everywhere.
Do you like the Olive Garden?
I do. Yeah. I don't hate it.
Not gonna hate on it. I haven't had it in years, but
you're like, I hate it.
I hate the Olive Garden. No, I can't have the bread because I have celiac disease, so it's kind of sad. Well, but it's okay because they do have gluten-free pasta that's pretty good. So I haven't had it in a while.
Yeah, guilty pleasure for sure.
Yes. Rodney was threatening Juan's family. Yeah. Oh yeah. And she was like, how nice. He cares about his family. I forgot about that. That whole plot. I felt like there were so many plots within this book that I almost wanted more fleshed out. Like this felt like a very short book for how much was in it.
Yeah. It was so like once Rodney got like revealed to be like selling the cocaine or whatever and they arrested him, I was like, why is there still 50 pages left? Like,
yeah,
it felt like that part of the mystery was like resolved and it was like over, and then it was like, what is still going on? And then the rest of the 50 pages were all like the court scenes that didn't feel necessary, and then it was
I agree.
A lot of the relationship with her and Juan, and like I don't know.
Yeah, it's 285 pages. In a way, it was kind of nice because I read it at like 2 times the speed, and so I was like done with it really fast, you know? And so it almost like felt like a movie. By the way, it's becoming a movie.
I know.
Which is exciting. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. I feel like this may be one of the cases where the movie's better than the book.
I know. It has a lot of potential. Yeah.
Is that awful that I'm saying that? I don't know.
No, I agree. I think it has all the right stuff to make a really interesting movie or TV show. I don't know if it's getting movie or TV, but
true.
Either one, I'm so excited.
I don't know.
I don't remember the article if I read it.
I know. I don't think I even read it, to be honest. Yeah, and also Florence Pugh is so good. She's gonna play this character so well.
I know. She's in Midsommar.
So good. So good. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. So we have someone agrees. Ashley's like, yes, the movie's gonna be better. Sure. Also, the whole visually, the atmosphere. Words. I feel like it's going to be so cool to see like all the uniforms, and for me, I struggle with visualization. So like while I was reading and it was like being explained, I was like, cool, I'm not going to remember that. But I feel like it'll be cool to see. Felt like the court scenes could be skipped. Yeah. Cozy mystery. There's something else I was going to say about we need to talk about what was the guy with the lawyer daughter.
I know.
Hold on. I have it in my notes somewhere. Mr. Preston, right?
Yeah.
Was that it?
Yeah, I forget what his daughter's name was. But yeah.
I have it in my notes.
Oh, Charlotte.
Charlotte. Okay, so what did you think about Mr. Preston, that whole connection?
I know that was really interesting. I'm trying to remember like exactly what happened because that part's kind of
no, you're good.
But yeah,
I forgot about it.
Yeah,
sorry.
He tells her that he was with her gran or something, right? And then
so basically, I just remember that just now. So yeah, he was engaged or he proposed when they were like 16 or something, I think. Yeah. And it didn't work, and then they still like kept in contact or whatever. And did you like that connection, or were you kind of like, that's kind of weird?
I mean, I don't know. I thought it was interesting. I didn't see it coming, but
yeah, I thought it was interesting that like he got married to someone else and like they stayed friends. I mean, that's awesome that they could. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like cynical and I'm like, that seems like unbelievable, but maybe it's not. I like that connection. I always thought like throughout the whole thing, they were the author was sort of trying to like drop hints that Mr. Preston was like this fatherly figure. Yeah. And actually I was like nervous because now when like an author tries to paint someone as like a really good, like pure character, I'm always sus of them. I'm like, Are you the killer? Like, were you suspicious of?
I for some reason I wasn't suspicious of him. No, I don't know why. But did that imply then that like Charlotte was like related to her? Like I can't remember.
No, because he never married. Oh, actually, like you're saying. Hold on, maybe people are saying.
I know I'm confused now because I'm like,
oh,
I know because then
actually. Grant got pregnant. I forgot that. Okay, cool. Thanks for reminding me, Anna. I appreciate it. I see. That's what I'm saying. So much happened in this book. It's so funny because in your live show, we were like, we had freaking character maps.
Yeah.
Both of us were like holding them up. And in this one, it was like deceptive because I felt like the plot was like super straightforward. But then all of a sudden I forgot about like all of these random little like things.
I know. There's all these random side characters. And I'm like, I should have made a map.
No, you're good. You're good. Same. And I just read it yesterday or the day before. But okay, so Grant, so yes, he was related, I think. Yeah. Oh.
Even though he also said that he knew.
Question mark. We don't know. Mr. Preston reached for the framed photo of her grandma and was like, oh, he's pining after her. I bet they dated. I don't even remember that specific moment.
I don't either.
Maybe. Okay. I think it would make sense that he was her grandfather. Or either her grandfather or like a grandfather, like grandfatherly person. Her grandma was pregnant with Mr. Preston's baby. Okay, I think that's what it was. I think that's what it was implying. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you liked it. That's awesome. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So Charlotte would be her aunt then.
That's right.
I found it interesting because I felt like Mr. Preston's character was like very like skimmed over. And then all of a sudden he was kind of this like very big part of the story.
At the end, yeah. That's why I'm like, I can vaguely remember like anything that he had to do with the story before the very end, to be honest.
Yeah, which is interesting. I feel the same way. Mr. Preston told Gran that he would watch over. That's so sweet. I have a question. So were you ever suspicious that Molly did it?
No, I wasn't.
You weren't?
Were you?
I was. Yeah. I was like, maybe Molly did it. Because like towards the middle to end, I kind of was like, she knows more than she's letting on, which is obviously like what ended up happening. She knew the whole time.
Yeah.
But when it was sort of like she knew, I was like, maybe she either was like involved or like did it. I was wondering. I'm curious if this too. I thought she might have killed Wilbur too.
Whoa.
See, that would have been a twist. Yeah. I didn't think she did it, but I was convinced that she wasn't telling the details. See, I just didn't pick up on that, I guess. I don't know why. There was a time when I thought she was suspicious. Okay, yeah, see.
I never thought she did it, like not even once. I was like, she's getting framed.
Yeah.
The whole book, I was like, this is bullshit. She's getting framed.
Literally me, like, still, even though it's not really a thriller, like, thinking as if it's a thriller, and I'm like, she's gonna be the one who, like, killed everyone, and, like, she slaughtered everyone. Well, I didn't actually really think that, but, you know.
Well, I was like, how horrifying of a situation for her to be in, to, like, be basically getting set up to look like you did it, and, like, have all this evidence stacked against you. Like, that's, like, my worst nightmare.
Oh my God, I was just gonna say, that is one of my biggest fears. Yeah. I seriously, like, think about this often. Why? I don't know. But you think about it, like, I literally am like, what if someone frames me for, I shouldn't put this out there because someone's gonna freaking do it. But I was like, what if someone frames me for murder and, like, it looks like I'm guilty and I had nothing to do with it? Like, what?
That sucks. Like, major sucks.
And also, what sucks too is I'm so bad at, like, people will think I'm lying when I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, no, same. I can't lie for shit. Like, I just smile the whole time I'm lying.
Literally, I remember playing like Mafia and stuff like that when I was younger, and I would like be the worst. Everybody would think I was the killer or whatever, like when I wasn't, because I would just sit there and laugh, and people were like, Savannah, stop. Exactly. I'm like, I can't. Oh my God. I never thought she did it. Okay, so it sounds like, oh yeah, so revenge on everyone who messed with her. I thought she accidentally, that would have been clever.
Yeah.
I kind of, it was implied, and then Charlotte said, Dad, is there anything else you want to tell me? And then he was like, my dear girl, I think I've said quite enough already. Yeah. That's pretty clear, I think. So did everyone in the hotel know about the drugs and no one did? I love the emoji, like.
I know. I don't know if everyone knew, but.
I don't think the manager knew.
Yeah, Mr. Snow or whatever.
See, I didn't know his name.
I don't think he knew.
That, yeah, I don't think everyone knew. And I also don't think the other maids knew. At least there wasn't so much talk about them. It's funny because how this was marketed, I almost thought like everybody was going to be her friend, and they were like trying to help her, because I felt like that's sort of like what it said. Maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I just remember it being like she like works together with her friends to prove that she's like not. But I feel like most of them almost were against her, or like very willing to just throw her under the bus, you know, which was surprising to me.
Sad, yeah.
Very sad. Were they alluding to her beating her mom at the very end? Oh, her first wife who actually murdered him. They had a connection. And Molly kept talking about how similar.
Oh.
I did not pick up on that.
Like Molly was related to her? Is that what?
Like Mrs. Black? Wait.
Yeah, like the original wife? Or no. Wait, what? No.
I don't think so. I'm like thinking my wheels are turning so much. I don't think so, because it's kind of, well, I don't know. That went over my head. If that was the implication, I'm not sure.
I know.
I totally love when she set him up at the end with the gun and the vacuum, blah, blah, blah. the like listening to her thoughts it was amazing. I loved it. Also, I just love how it was through Molly's perspective. So we were processing everything through her.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we like knew what was going on, but then other times at least I did not know still like what was going on, which was kind of cool. New fear unlocked. Yeah, I'm an anxious person who thinks about endless scenarios of like random things that would literally never happen. I hope.
Type 6 traits over here.
Yeah, we're both 6s on the Enneagram. Do you know your wing? Have you ever like?
Yeah, I'm 6 wing 5.
Me too.
Oh my God. Yes.
That's why we like books so much.
Yes.
That's so awesome. I love it. Are you like more of a introverted hold on. Are you more of an introvert that has extrovert tendencies, or more of an extrovert with like what are you more? Do you know?
Well, I've always considered myself more introverted, but there are times where I can be kind of extroverted, so but definitely more introverted.
So you're like a extroverted introvert. I think
so.
Yeah. I think I am that too. When I was younger, I definitely like in high school was very much more like not like I'm not social now, but I was different in high school. But now as I've settled into my like adulthood, which is so funny because I still think of myself as like a freaking teenager, even though I'm like 25. Well, I'm almost 25.
Oh my God, it's time go.
Yeah, and you're 27, you right? You just turned 27. Yeah. Oh my gosh, look at us. We're adults. Wow. She was an extremely cleverly written character, and she learned from her grandmother's teaching and saying she lived by. Yeah, I loved that. A lot of it pointed the finger at Molly for a while. Oh, yeah. I was laughing when Molly got arrested, and the scene where Molly, oh my God, I forgot about that. The way she was like, thank you so much for the coffee. That was so kind. And like the detective was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, we're literally accusing you of murder and you're like thanking me for my time.
I know.
So funny. I don't know this movie. Let's see. I'm glad her boss got a demotion. Yes, when she was like at the end, the manager. I wonder if Cheryl knew about the. What do you think?
The drugs? I know, maybe, because she was the asshole maid, right? She was the one who like stole everybody's tips and stuff.
She was a D. She literally was just like, I'm gonna steal your tips. Thanks. Bye.
Whoa,
and Molly
I'd
was
be
like,
so mad.
Molly was like, I literally see you stealing my money. What are you doing? And also, she didn't do anything, which is like, girl, what are you doing? You're doing nothing. Oh my gosh. Actually, something that was so funny to me was when the boss called Molly and was like, hey, Molly, like, can you come in tomorrow? She's like, don't have to ask twice. I'll be there. Yeah. And he was like, I know it's your day off. And she's like, I love cleaning. It's fine. Like, I wish I was like that with work. Same.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, nope, bye.
I know. Whenever people ask, unless it's like, you know, helping out a friend, if they're just like, we need more help, I'm like, sorry, I'm not coming in. I'm busy.
I know. I'm like, who is this? Like, I don't know.
I know. Oh, Savannah. Oh, that's me. Hi. Cheryl was the worst. Yeah, she was the worst for sure. I agree. She just looked familiar because it was Mr. Black's first wife. Yeah, and that was so confused. Mrs. Black, the first, came to the hotel. So that makes sense. I think that's probably why. So wait, she thinks they're having an affair? Is that what this means? Was having it away with Mr. Black, and I questioned her at that point and whether it was Cheryl as a revenge killer.
That would be a twist.
Who did you think did you have like a guess of who you thought did it?
I mean, I thought Rodney, just because he was being so suspicious throughout everything, even with his, like, I know he was mainly only involved with like the drug stuff, but I don't know. I guess I just assumed it was him because he was being so suspicious the whole time, but.
Yeah, me too. And then Molly, it was weird. It was like just those two. Oh, and Mr. Preston. Those were like, what is that? Three.
Interesting.
There we go. Molly's mom died of a drug overdose.
That's what I thought. I remembered.
Yeah. Thought Cheryl had something to do with the murder. Yeah, I agree. It was very like read between the lines, like what's being alluded to. I got the hit that Mr. Preston knew about something was going on and wasn't aware of the. Yeah, I think so too. He seemed like be careful because he warned her about Rodney, so he must have known about something. She had me thinking about it so much. This emoji is so funny. She never met her father, and he was only part of the conception and then seemed to be off the scene. Yeah. You have to like try and look through her misunderstandings and everything going on. Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh, what? Ashley, twinning.
What's up?
Twinning.
Oh my gosh.
I think they're the best numbers, but it's just because, oh my gosh, hey, another one.
Brittany too, what's up?
I just think like the 5 wing is like it's fun. I don't know. It's funny because the 7 is like the fun one. Like stereotypically, it's like the life of the party. I definitely can like go to a 7 wing, but I'm more of a 5 for sure.
Yeah, definitely more of a 5. I relate so much to all the Enneagram 5 stuff too. That's how I just like know that I'm like, this is me.
It's funny because I'm a 6 wing 5 and my husband's a 5 wing 6.
Oh.
And so we like get each other, but it's almost like we're coming from like a slightly different perspective because like our main number is different. So it's super interesting.
That is interesting.
Also, the INF, whatever that thing is, what's it called? The Myers-Briggs.
Myers-Briggs, yeah.
Mine is not accurate. I can't remember what mine is, but it's like so wrong.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah. Is yours accurate? Do you remember what you are?
Mine's an INFJ. It's like it's like the most rare one or something. It's like very
you're like
I'm like, cool. It literally like when you look it up, it's like you are the person that nobody can relate to in this world, because now there's like,
oh my God,
people, and I'm like, cool.
And that's also really scary, not to like go off into the whole Enneagram thing, but to go off in it for a second, because I love it. That's like the biggest fear of the 6.
I know,
because they like want a community, they want to like security,
like not
being
relatable.
Like, don't tell me that.
Like, not cool.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh, yes, that was so funny. I loved her. This. Do you think it'll be a series?
I don't know. Maybe.
I feel like the multiple endings thing like made it open to a series.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I don't know. I mean, Molly's character is interesting enough that I think they could do something with her character in the future, but I just don't know what they would do, because this is such a specific situation that I don't think it could happen twice.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm curious to see what they would do in the future.
I feel like it would be one of those things like Only Murders in the Building, where it's like something else happens at the hotel. It would feel kind of repetitive, but it depends on like how it's executed to like make it feel different, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Freaking Cheryl called out because she was traumatized. I don't feel like she would. I feel like she knew what. I don't know. I think Cheryl was like sus. I don't know. Whenever I say sus, I think of the meme when the imposter is sus. Like, oh my God. But it's so bad. I work with kids and that's all they say. It's funny. Yes. When the detective didn't realize she was autistic. Yeah. The detective, it just made me think of Criminal Minds. And I know that like a behavioral analysis unit like isn't a thing, but like you've got to like hope that detectives are like a little bit more intelligent than like that detective, because that detective was like, what's wrong with her? Like, why is she acting like this? It's like, it's pretty obvious. I don't know. Maybe I'm being rude, but I just felt like the detective was a little like clueless. Like, really? You're like someone who interrogates people. You should probably know a little bit more about humans. I see. Having it away in the UK means that they were having an affair. That's what I thought. Maybe Mr. Snow wanted to get rid of the dirty business in the hotel, so killed the main drug boss. Ooh, that's interesting. You're putting on a great live show. Oh, thanks, Kim. You're so sweet. Thanks. I love the Enneagram. Me too. I love how this has become, it's like gone from like talking about like Molly and like the characters to like us like talking about Enneagrams. Honestly, what do you think Molly would be on the Enneagram?
I was just going to say, she's probably a type 6 too.
I literally was like, Molly's a definite 6.
Definitely.
Or plot twist, she could be a 2.
I was going to say, or a 1 or 2. I could see that.
Because 2s are like helpers. She could be a 2-wing 1. I don't know. I
can see it.
We should go through. I feel like everybody in this live, if you're into the Enneagram, go through the characters and try to figure out the Enneagram characters, because now I really want to do that after the show. I think with Mr. Preston, he was only protective over Molly as he picked up on her traits early on, and he didn't want people to take advantage of her. He was only ever related to Charlotte. Gotcha. I don't know. I think it's kind of vague. I think it's maybe like what people want to get from the story. I don't know what the word is for that. Like where authors kind of leave it up to interpretation, I guess. Guess that's what you call it. 4-wing 5. We love it. I'm lost. What are we talking about? Oh, the Enneagram. It's a personality test, or I guess it's a test. It's like it's a philosophy, and it's like there's 8 different sort of personalities, and what makes it different is it's basically taking the person's like basic soul motivation or fear, and so it's, at least in my opinion, a lot more accurate than a lot of other personality tests, because it like people will fit into a number, but then there's like many different ways the person as the number can like display themselves or like be. There's a lot more differences within the number. if that makes sense. But it's a whole thing. I could probably honestly do a live show about it because it's super interesting. I feel like people are so into it, and it would be cool to talk about it in the book community. Her way of describing the disposable coffee cups in the interrogation really confirmed being autistic. I'm laughing because I remember she like really did not like them, right?
Yeah, because they were like a weird plastic texture.
Yeah, the styrofoam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Gran just wanted to die in a way that was like, you know, she was leaving the earth in like a peace. I know people will be like, what do you mean peaceful? But she took like pills and she was like relaxed, and she wanted to like be in control of that versus like going and spending her last days like in a hospital. You know, so that's like what I thought of it. I think, yeah, it would, I feel like it would have been more traumatizing for Molly than Gran. Actually, maybe that's what you're saying though, that it would be traumatizing for Molly. Dang, we have lots of 6s and 5s.
20.
The best. Let's see. I would watch more videos on the Enneagram. It was only vague because it was through Molly's perspective. But it was definitely confirmed in the text that they were related. Gotcha. Okay. Well, we're approaching. Oh, we just hit the hour, like literally just now. Yeah. Do you have any other comments? Does anybody in the comments, questions, concerns? I mean,
I know. I feel like we touched on everything that I was wanting to talk about.
Yeah. It was so fun to have you on. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. This was super fun.
Yeah.
This was a good discussion.
It was so fun doing 2 lives and like seeing, especially for people who like read along with both books, like seeing 2 different like analysis in 1 week is so fun. I don't know. I loved it.
I know, especially because I feel like this book was so like lighthearted for the most part, and then the other book was so dark. So it was very like different vibes happening.
So you rated this one higher, right? You rated where they found her 3.5. Was it 3 or
I ended up giving it 3, I think.
Yeah. So, and then this one you said a 3.5.
Yeah, probably like 4 though. I think I enjoyed it more than a 3.
When did you read it? Did you read it?
Like probably like a week ago, or maybe like a little over a week ago.
Okay. Yeah. I read them both like right before the live. I always do that.
I know. That's like intense. I don't know how you do it because I get so nervous that I'm like not going to finish in time that I'm like I have to like do it in the mid-month.
Yeah, the most intense experience with like trying to get something read. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I did this. I waited to read Night Film. Do you guys know how long that book is? It's like 600 pages, I think, or like almost. I read all of that like in less than 24 hours. I don't know why I did that. I don't know how or who or why, but yeah, that was intense. Usually, I'm okay. I usually actually like reading books faster in like a short like time period, but
that's
especially near the bone. That was so good to read fast.
Near so good. So good.
So good. Anyway, thank you all so much for being here and reading. I just got the results basically for the next book club pick. I don't have it by me. It's Dead Silence by B.A. Barnes, I think. Oh my goodness.
That's the one I voted for, so yes.
Wait. Yay! Wait, hold on. Is that the author? I'm so sorry, you guys. Dead Silence. It's hard to remember when they're like abbreviations like that.
Yeah, I think it is S.A.
Barnes. Hold on. Dead Silence book. Not me Googling in live time. S.A. Barnes. Okay, yes. I said S.B. or something. Thank you. I'm going to be announcing the host tomorrow just because I feel like it's kind of later. I want people to see it. But yeah, also, obviously, go check out Gabby's book troop. Oh my gosh. You have some amazing selections. Do you want to share your selections?
I'm excited. Oh, yeah. I have, it's like next to me. I don't know if I can get it off, but we're reading These Silent Woods in February. So I'm excited.
And that is like categorized as a horror?
It's like thriller horror from what I've heard, but a lot of people say it feels more like slow burn kind of literary mystery vibes of like, it's kind of like a survival story is what I've heard. So
cool.
I don't know.
Awesome.
I'm just really excited. I've heard like some of my friends are already giving it 5 stars, so I'm like, maybe this could be it, like a 5-star book for my book.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna read along with that one. Erin Megan loved it, and Erin and I actually have like very similar tastes. We did that whole like Goodreads comparison, and we were like, oh my gosh, everything's like very similar. Super interesting. So yeah, that's cool. Anyway, thank you so much for being on. I think I'm gonna end the broadcast or the live show. But yeah, thank you all. I'll talk to you all soon. And yeah, obviously go subscribe or follow Gabby if you're not. And yeah. All right. Bye, you all. Have a good night.